Gauteng Education MEC Mabona has officially launched the 2026 online admissions application system today for grades 1 and grade 8 learners. Speaking at a media briefing in Garankuwa, Pretoria, Chilwane says the system has not experienced any issues. He's also emphasized the department's commitment to efficiency and equal access to quality education. The online portal will accept applications until the 29th of August.
The launch has been successful. The system went live at 8 o'clock as planned. There were no really any anticipated glitches. I know there are some parents who logged in earlier and then they expected the system to just automatically change, so they had to reboot. So upon rebooting, then the system came back live again. And at that time, we're sitting with around quite a number of them. Now, as we speak, the applications that have gone through successfully, we're sitting just above 10,000. We're expecting it to be much higher later on in the day, because as parents go back and able to reboot and start up. So we know that by the end of the day, we'll be sitting at a very high number. But so far, so good. No problems. We've not gotten anything, any feedback, any challenges with the system from the public. So we're happy with how the system has started today.
All right, we're now joined in studio by Gauteng Education Spokesperson Steve Mabona. Steve, a very good afternoon to you. Well, it is that time of the year again. As we've heard from the MEC, everything went off fine. Just give us a sense of how the opening of the application actually went and how it's going at this moment.
No, thanks very much. Good afternoon. Yes, the process went very well. We started at 8 o'clock, but we experienced quite a number of parents who waited, in queue to access the system. The challenge that we experienced there was that they had to refresh their systems. So some were complaining to say they don't see the register button and they had to refresh. But, as soon as they refreshed, they could then easily access the system. There's quite a sizable number. I mean, at the first hour, we were sitting at about 78,000 applications already.
So 78,000, because we know that around about 40,000 were actually waiting before that system opened. This system, when we go back to why it was really initiated, it was really meant to or designed rather to simplify this process. But over the years, of course, we've seen a number of glitches. Just speak to us about that progress. Why are we still hearing from some quarters that they're still experiencing problems?
No, look, some problems are human errors, which when we interact with our stakeholders, we do really put an emphasis, like as we are doing now. We're discouraging parents to queue before we open the system. Because if they didn't do that, they were not going to be experiencing any challenges. So the system works very well. We have not experienced glitches in many years, because every time we upgrade the system, improve it. Now we have introduced an element where two parents can apply for one child, because we have maximum of 5 spaces. The other parent can take 2, the other one take 3, because of the circumstances that would be prevailing in a household. You know that challenges are many, so we are very much accommodative. So we've been improving, and yes, the system was designed to alleviate pressure from parents, because remember, Gauteng, there's so many people, and just imagine, 78,000 in an hour applications. Now at 1 o'clock, we're standing at over 213,000 of those that would have successfully applied. Just imagine, those parents would not be in a position to go to 5 schools and drop their applications, because they had to queue. Some had to wake up at 12 o'clock, midnight, and go queue at the school. So we were simplifying the process, and the process has been simplified.
Remind us again, and particularly the parents for grades 1 and 8, what are the do's and don'ts that they need to keep at the back of their minds, so that we don't find ourselves come the 29th of August with the same problem that I couldn't register, I was kicked out, etc.
Look, we've realized that some parents will be in the system, and when they're about to upload documents, probably they cannot do that. They need to refresh. Just refresh the page and you should be in a position to do that. And make sure that you complete the process. Don't leave the system if you are not done, because that is going to be an incomplete application. And once you have an incomplete application, come the placement period in October on the 16th, we will not consider you as a parent. And it will mean that you will then have to wait for the time when we have done almost everyone, and probably when we open the school for late applications, and then you are given an opportunity to go in there. And you will find schools that will be far, and many schools, because many schools will be full.
I want us to touch on an issue that has come out quite recently during this process, particularly. I think it was also mentioned in other years, but in isolation. I mean, there are already stakeholders now calling on the Gauteng Education Department, to provide clarity on whether undocumented learners will be allowed to register. There are concerns from various stakeholders that this is ongoing. Just give us clarity in terms of this, because we know, of course, that the Constitution does provide for every child under a specific age to be in the classroom. What is the Gauteng education standpoint on this?
No, look, I mean, it's quite clear. We have mentioned documents that are needed for you to apply for a school in Gauteng. If you are here, you need to be here legal. And those documents are there. I mean, we have a certification that we need, and we need, if you are a refugee, there must be a refugee status. If you're an asylum seeker, there must be. If you are here working, there must be a work permit. So all those, if you are studying here, there must be a study permit. So all those are documents that we really require as a department, and we will then have to submit those documents at the school. And when we start with the process of placing, then we will consider the documentation. So
as it stands at the moment, there are no undocumented learners in South African schools?
No, we do have in our schools undocumented, but what we will normally do, because remember, there's a court decision, court order which came to say, as an education sector, we don't need to look at a document, but must look at the child.
Yeah.
All children of a school-going age, they must be in a school. So when you check, I mean, the countrywide, you will find those learners that don't have documents. But what we do, we work very closely with the Department of Home Affairs and the parents as well to say, let's make sure that children have documentation. Because the advantage of those children is that when they go to grade 12, they will be allowed to write. But the disadvantage about it is that they won't be resulted. Okay. They won't have a certificate because you don't have an identity that will link you to that certificate.
We've run out of time. In 30 seconds, what happens after the 29th of August?
The system shut down. We then prepare, working very closely with schools, look at their lists, verify, and make sure that we then send happy SMSs on the 16th of October.
Hopefully, yeah.
And try to accommodate everyone. But what we are doing, every child is going to be placed.